Assalamu alaikum, Sayyid.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
How are you doing?
Good, alhamdulillah. How's everything?
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
You had
I
a
apologize.
test last week, right?
Yes. Yeah.
How did that go?
Alhamdulillah, it went well. Alhamdulillah, I passed.
Alhamdulillah, you already got the results?
Yeah.
Was it al-Asr?
No, I'm still in high school, so nothing like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
State test?
It was my driver's test.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah, I passed it. I can start driving now.
So now we can start assigning you tests?
Inshallah. I just need somebody 21 and older and I'm good.
Okay. So we'll start with juz number 2. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Why don't we start with Muhammad Ibrahim? You can get us started.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. سيقول السفهاء من الناس ما ولاهم عن قبلتهم التي كانوا عليها قل لله المشرق والمغرب يهدي من يشاء إلى صراط مستقيم كذلك جعلناكم أمة وسطا لتكونوا شهداء على الناس يكون الرسول عليكم شهيدا وما جعلنا القبلة التي كنت عليها إلا لنعلم ما يتبع الرسول مما ينقلب على عقبة وإن كانت لكبيرة إلا على الذين هدى الله وما كان الله ليضيع إيمانكم إن الله بالناس لرؤوف
Rahim.
rahim.
Very good. And that was a long verse. So thank you for reading it. Alhamdulillah. Very good job. This verse talks about the change of the Qibla. you know that the first Qibla of the Muslims was actually Baytul Maqdis in Jerusalem, the same Qibla that the Jews followed. And then the Prophet was ordered to change the Qibla to Mecca. And the Quran says that the reason for this change in Qibla was so people were tested by God. Who follows the Prophet and who, wants to do things their own way. So the change in the Qibla was a test. And our job is not to always ask the Prophet, why this, why that, why not this way, but to follow and obey. Okay, next, Ali Riza, go ahead.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Sorry, before you start, did you want to do a tajweedi point today? Or why don't you read, and then we'll see if we have time at the end.
Okay, no problem. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قد نرى تقلب وجهك في السماء فلنولينك قبلة ترضاها.
فلنولينك.
أوكي. قد نرى تقلب وجهك في السماء فلنولينك قبلة ترضاها فول وجهك شطر المسجد الحرام وحيث ما كنتم فولوا وجوهكم شطره وإن الذين أوتوا الكتاب ليعلمون أنه الحق من ربهم وما الله بغافل عما يعملون ولئن أتيت الذين أوتوا الكتاب بكل آية ما تبعوا قبلتك وما أنت بتابع قبلتهم وما بعضهم بتابع قبلة بعض ولئن اتبعت أهواءهم من بعد ما جاءك من العلم إنك إذا لمن الظالمين.
Ahsantum. Very good. Now, a lot of times when you have a religious commandment from God, people put a lot of pressure on you. Why not this? Why not that? When the Qibla changed, the Jews and the Christians put a lot of pressure on the Prophet that, we'll like you if you follow our Qibla, and, why did you change it, and this and that. And the Quran says that you follow the commandment of Allah and do what's right, and don't worry about pressure. And the same way in our life, if somebody pressures us about our religious practice or hijab or anything, do what you know is right, what your conscience tells you is right, and don't worry about what people try to convince you to do to be accepted or to be popular. Go ahead. Next, Sakina.
الذين آتيناهم الكتاب يعرفونه كما يعرفون أبناءهم وإن فريقا منهم ليكتمون الحق وهم يعلمون الحق من ربك فلا تكونن من الممترين ولكل وجهة هو موليه فاستبقوا الخيرات أينما تكونوا فاستبقوا الخيرات أينما تكونوا يأتي بكم الله جميعا إن الله على كل شيء قدير.
Very good. Musa.
ومن حيث خرجت فول وجهك شطر المسجد الحرام وإنه للحق من ربك وما الله بغافل عما تعملون ومن حيث خرجت فول وجهك شطر المسجد الحرام وحيث ما كنتم فولوا وجوهكم شطره لئلا يكون للناس عليكم حجة إلا الذين ظلموا منهم فلا تخشوهم واخشوني ولأتم نعمتي عليكم ولعلكم تهتدون.
Very good. Masuma?
كما أرسلنا فيكم رسولا منكم يتلو عليكم آياتنا ويزكيكم ويعلمكم الكتاب والحكمة ويعلمكم ما لم تكونوا تعلمون فاذكروني أذكركم واشكروا لي ولا تكفرون يا أيها الذين آمنوا استعينوا بالصبر والصلاة إن الله مع الصابرين.
Very good. Murtaza?
ولا تقولوا لمن يقتل في سبيل الله
في سبيل الله
في سبيل الله أموات أموات بل أحياء ولكن لا تشعرون ولنبلونكم بشيء من الخوف والجوع ونقص من الأموال والأنفس والثمرات وبشر الصابرين.
Yeah, Allah says that we will test you. So everybody is going to be tested. And Allah says that those who are patient, as-sabirin, give them good news. And so before Allah tells us what the good news is, He tells us what it means to be patient. And Mustafa, would you like to read?
الذين إذا
إذا أصابت
إذا أصابتهم مصيبة قالوا إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون أولئك عليهم صلوات من ربهم ورحمة وأولئك هم المهتدون.
Very good. Thank you. So first Allah tells us who is the patient. The patient are those who, whenever they face a hardship, they say, Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. We belong to Allah and we will go back to Allah. And then what is their reward? What is the good news? They will get salawatun min rabbihim wa rahma. Allah will give them mercy and Allah will give them His blessings. And they are the ones who are rightly guided. Okay, Taha?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الصفا والمروة من شعائر الله فمن حج البيت أو اعتمر فلا جناح عليه أن يطوف بهما ومن تطوع خيرا فإن الله شاكر عليم إن الذين يكتمون ما أنزلنا من البينات والهدى من بعد ما بيناه للناس في الكتاب أولئك يلعنهم الله ويلعنهم هم اللاعنون.
Very good. Amma?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إلا الذين تابوا وأصلحوا وبينوا فأولئك أتوب عليهم وأنا التواب الرحيم إن الذين كفروا وماتوا وهم كفار أولئك عليهم لعنة الله والملائكة والناس أجمعين خالدين فيها لا يخفف عنهم العذاب ولا هم ينذرون.
Very good. Thank you. Shabir?
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإلهكم إله واحد لا إله إلا هو الرحمن الرحيم إن في خلق السماوات والأرض واختلاف الليل والنهار والفلك التي تجري في البحر بما ينفع الناس وما أنزل الله من السماء من ماء فأحيا به الأرض بعد موتها وبث فيها من كل دابة وتصريف الرياح والسحاب المسخر بين السماء والأرض لآيات لقوم يعقلون.
Thank you. Very good. Asad, I think you're next.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ومن الناس من يتخذ من يتخذ من دون الله أندادا يحبونهم كحب الله والذين آمنوا أشد حبا لله ولو يرى الذين ظلموا إذ يرون العذاب أن القوة لله جميعا وأن الله شديد العذاب إذ تبرأ الذين تبعوا من الذين تبعوا من الذين تبعوا ورأوا العذاب وتقطعت بهم الأسباب.
Very good. Thank you. And this one is a verse that tells us about the unbelievers. You know, today, a lot of times you have a group of people who are loyal to each other in evil. So people who commit a crime together, people who cheat maybe on a test and they help each other to cheat. Sometimes people are loyal to each other in evil. But on the Day of Judgment, when they see the punishment, then what will happen is تَبَرَّأَ الَّذِينَ تُبِعُوا مِنَ الَّذِينَ اتَّبَعُوا. Those who were the leaders of evil, they will say, I don't have anything to do with these people who followed me. The leaders will say that the followers have nothing to do with us, because they will see the punishment and they will have nowhere to turn. So don't be fooled by evildoers seeming to be all together on one team. They're not going to stay together. It's just a temporary partnership they have. You shouldn't fear it. You should remember that eventually it's going to break up. If not in this world, it will break up on the Day of Judgment, when they will see punishment and then they will speak against each other. So that's the people who were followed. They will talk against the people who followed them. And the next verse talks about the people who followed. What will they say against the people who were the leaders in evil? And Zain, you can start.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وقال الذين اتبعوا لو أن لنا كرة فنتبرأ أمنهم كما تبرأوا منا كذلك يريهم الله أعمالهم حسرات عليهم وما هم بخارجين من النار.
So this is very good, thank you. This is what's going to happen. The people who are followers, they will say, if only we had a second chance and we could go back to the earth and we could live a good life and we could separate ourselves from the evildoers. But nobody gets a second chance. When we live in this world, that is when we have to make all of our decisions. Okay, thank you, Taqi. And by the way, if anybody is wondering, we are on verse 168 of Surah Al-Baqarah. Go ahead, Taqi.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Ya ayyuhan nasu kulu mimma fil arzi halalan tayyiba wala tattabi'u khutuwati shaitan innahu lakum aduwwum mubin. إنما يأمركم بالسوء والفحشاء وأن تقولوا على الله ما لا تعلمون وإذا قيل لهم اتبعوا ما أنزل الله قالوا بلى نتبع ما ألفينا عليه آباءنا أولو كان آباؤهم لا يأكلون شيئا ولا يهتدون.
Very good. And this verse is one in which the Qur'an says that the verses before it, Allah says in the Qur'an, this is verse 168, that, O people, kulu mimma fil ard, enjoy what is in the earth. What Allah has created in this earth is for you to use and to enjoy. Halalan tayyiba. It's halal for you, it's good for you. Wala tattabi'u khutuwat ash-shaytan. But don't follow the footsteps of shaitan. What are the footsteps of shaitan? Don't listen to the temptation of shaitan when he tells us to do what's evil. Innahu lakum aduwwum mubin. Because he is an open enemy. إِنَّمَا يَأْمُرُكُمْ بِالسُّوءِ وَالْفَحْشَاءِ. Shaitan only tells us to do what is evil. So sometimes, you know how shaitan makes it seem interesting? We're curious. We are tempted to do what is evil. Maybe some people think, I wonder what pork tastes like. I wonder what wine tastes like. And they're curious. Or any other sin. Remember though, no matter how the packaging might be, no matter the commercials and how popular something is, if God says it's evil, it's bad for us. Imagine if I have rotten food, right? There was bugs in it, and I clean it up and I make it look good, and it looks like a really fancy meal. It's still rotten inside. So sometimes people make it look good. Shaitan makes evil deeds look good, but it's rotten and damaging inside, and we have to understand the reality and not just what things look to be. إِنَّمَا يَأْمُرُكُمْ بِالسُّوءِ وَالْفَحْشَاءِ. Shaitan tells you to do what's evil and what's indecent. وَأَن تَقُولُوا عَلَى اللَّهِ مَا لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. And shaitan wants you to speak about Allah things that you don't know. You know how sometimes we have an opinion? But if we don't have knowledge, we shouldn't give our opinion. Rather than try to give our opinion, we should try to learn. So if I know something, I should talk. But if I'm not qualified to speak about it, if I haven't studied it and I don't know it, especially when it comes to religion, I shouldn't express an opinion. I shouldn't say Islam says this, or I shouldn't say this is good. Right? That's something that requires knowledge before we express an opinion. So this is the temptations of shaitan. All right, I think we will stop there, and we will resume, inshallah, with the same second juz next week, inshallah. And hopefully we'll have maybe a brief lesson on one of the points about recitation of Qur'an as well. Okay. Take care, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Khuda Hafiz.
Walaikum assalam.
Khuda Hafiz.